I'm Corporal David Moorhead, I'm 29 years old, and I'm from Middlesbrough. When it come to looking at regular service in the army, it was my father who gave me the advice and said, you know, if you're going to join, get yourself a trade, it'll stand you good stead for when you eventually leave. So I went down to the careers office and I had a look around there and decided that the Royal Signals sounded the most interesting to me, and I went forward. I eventually became a telegraphist within the Signals. And I've moved on through my career in that trade group as I am at the moment, and it's had me doing all sorts of different things, from satellite radios to your normal little handheld radios to computers and everything else that entails with IT. I've been quite a few places in my career so far. The nice ones being like Gibraltar and Italy, Poland, places like that. But I've also been to Iraq and Afghanistan and Oman as well. I met my wife back in 1998 when I was coming back off leave on the train coming down south, and we bumped into each other on the train and we were chatting away, and little did we realise we were actually both from the same town. She's from Acklam in Middlesbrough and I was from Martin, which is not too far apart, and as you can see, the rest is from there is history really. We got together and got married in 2000. The big things that should never be forgotten is there's a woman behind most of the men who are out there serving. And they go through the similar stresses at home, worrying about the husband's welfare and if he's safe, and wives in some cases. And they're back at home trying to keep it all together, trying to run the family, run the house, run the bills, and often taking over roles that the men would normally be doing at home. So it can be hard for them. And most of the wives I speak to, they all do a sterling effort. And to be honest, it should be them getting the medal sometimes, not the men maybe. When I proposed to my wife, at the time I'd just passed my driving test in the October, and my mother and father were kind enough to let me borrow their car for while I was home on the Christmas leave, and I got the ring, which I actually borrowed the money for off my father-in-law. It sounds very brave, but he's a very amenable man. And he lent me the money to buy the ring, and I paid him back. So I had the ring, and I knew where I was going to do it. It's a viewing point on the way out to Great Broughton on the Gisborough Road. I took her up into the hills surrounding Middlesbrough and took up to this viewing point, and I proposed there, and it was quite dark at the time, so I had to do it in front of the car with the lights beaming across us. And my wife didn't actually notice at the time I was proposing because she's not very good with heights, so she was busy panicking that we were near this cliff edge, and I'm trying to tell her, Steph, will you marry me? Obviously when she spotted, she was over the moon, and first thing she did is she rung her grandma, who was the only person in Middlesbrough at the time because her parents were away. And she went, Grandma, Dave's proposed to me, we're going to get married. And her grandma said, great, where's me fish and chips? Because we were supposed to be popping out to get her some fish and chips. So yeah, that's how that came along.
Well, being a wife of a soldier, it's kind of like being a soldier yourself, because obviously they come home and all I talk about is work, so you have to... Well, yeah, you've got to understand that at the end of the day, if he's got to go away, he's got to go away. It's as simple as that. You've just got to keep the fires burning at home and just try and keep, if he's a bit down, just try and perk him up a little bit. Yeah.
I'm Ara and I'm 4. Knock knock. I have to say who's there.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo hoo.
Don't need to cry about it. The trampoline is so good you can bounce on it. And you have to be careful if you don't fall off it. When I go to school in September, I'll meet lots of friends. And I'll learn how I read in the books. And I'll learn everything.
As a family, we take Amara out a lot. We do a lot of walking, and she loves going to the cinema. She absolutely adores bowling. Obviously, she likes going on the Wii, which is a new thing that we've just bought. She loves trampoline. She just loves spending time with us. It doesn't matter what it is doing. It could be sword fighting. She's a bit of a tomboy, is our little Amara. I've never seen a kid so confident. It doesn't matter if the room's filled with 200 people or two. She's very much like a dad in that respect, because David's a very, very confident person. So she doesn't get it from me, no. Well, Amara's favourite animals have got to be the new addition to the family, which is the twins, which is Pixie and Trixie, and they're the guinea pigs. We didn't know that the mother was pregnant, so that was a surprise. And little Sammy the hamster, definitely, that's her favourite. Well, I'm pet crazy. I mean, so far we've got a dog who we've had for 6 years. We got her from Belgium. We've got a rabbit. We've got 5 guinea pigs, and we have a little hamster. And if I could, I'd have a horse, a cow, a pig and a donkey as well. But unfortunately, we ain't got the room. Well, I like the travelling that's involved, because you do get to see different cultures. So that's always good. And basically, it's just like one big family, a very close-knit family. You could go anywhere, and as soon as you just, you discover somebody's a soldier, you just straight away instantly have a bond with them. I think it's a bond that you start up and you've got for the rest of your life.